Hello, English learners, Toeic students, anybody who loves grammar, building their vocabulary. Today we are going to look at two difficult Toeic questions, and I'm going to give you the grammatical knowledge and the vocabulary to answer them correctly. Very exciting. So let's get into the lesson. Let's look at the first question. First, can we simplify this statement? And of course we can simplify it. We can make the statement easier to understand by taking out unnecessary words. So we know an increasing number equals more. So we can say more corporations are beginning blank cameras in offices. Now, if you feel like you need some of the other words, keep them in, but I think we can simplify this. So first, let's eliminate be. To be verbed is passive voice. For example, if I say people are beginning to eat food, that means people eat food. If I say people are beginning to be eaten, that means something or someone is beginning to eat people. So X is beginning to verb, X does it. X is beginning to be verbed, something does it to X. So if I say corporations are beginning to be installed, that means something is installing corporations. Doesn't really make sense. So eliminate B. Next, eliminate A. We're eliminating A next. Install means to place equipment somewhere so you can use it. For example, I installed a new light bulb in the lamp. Now, the noun form is installation. So I could say the installation of the light bulb took 1 minute. So when you describe or talk about what you install and you use installation, it is the installation of something. There are other nouns that follow the of form, many. For example, the process of, the construction of, the development of, the creation of. You're telling us what is being made, what is being installed. Here we have installation in. Now, the installation of the cameras in the office is okay, but not the installation in the cameras, because then you're putting it inside the camera, but it's the installation of the product. So now we have C or D. Well, eliminate C for two reasons. You can see it says being. Now, it is not always wrong, but it is often strange to have verb ing, verb ing. Even if I say, I am stopping smoking. Now, it's not grammatically incorrect. It's not incorrect, but it sounds strange. So after begin, you can have begin to verb and begin verb ing. It means the same thing. For example, I began studying at 7 p.m. I began to study at 7 p.m. So I can use both here. But if I say beginning, I will use the to verb. It just sounds better. For example, I am beginning to understand. Okay? I am beginning understanding. It sounds strange. So that's one reason. So once again, it is not wrong always to have verb ing, verb ing. But if you have another option, you should probably choose that. Also, began being verbed is passive voice. So if I said the company began being installed, that means something began installing the company. Obviously, we are not installing the company. We are installing the cameras. So therefore, the answer is C, to install. So the company installs the camera. The company is beginning. They are starting to install these cameras. 112. We can get this answer quite quickly. First, we need to notice the word after the blank. We see come. Now, as you know, This word here is a verb. For example, I will come home at 7 p.m. He came home by 6 p.m. Because it is a verb, we can eliminate all prepositions. Now, prepositions need to be followed by a noun 99% of the time. They are not followed by a verb or subject verb. Some of the main prepositions in Toeic include these words. You can see except for is one of those words. So, if I said except for walk, I don't like exercise. Better, except for walking, I don't like exercise. So, if we look at the prepositions here, we have except for and instead of. So once again, I can say instead of watching a movie, I read a book. But I won't say instead of watch a movie, I read a book. After instead of, we are going to use a noun form, not the base verb. So we can eliminate instead of and except for because we will not have base verbs after these. Therefore, let's eliminate A and B, and now we have B and D. A little note. You can use some as a subject and it can equal some people. For example, some do not agree with the decision to close the park. That means some people. It is often used in formal writing. Okay, so we know some can be a subject. However, D is still incorrect. Why? If you say some come to the office for the holiday party, this is subject verb. Some come to the office. It is an independent clause. Then you have a comma. After that, it says many employees wanted to go to a local restaurant. This is also subject verb. These are two independent clauses. In Toeic, they will not join two independent clauses with a comma. You need a conjunction like and, or, but. You need possibly an adjective clause or an adverb clause. But these are two independent clauses. You would need to have a period between these or a conjunction like some come to the office party for the holiday, but many of the employees wanted to go to a local restaurant. Now, but there joins these independent clauses, so I can keep the comma there. If we look at the answer, it is rather than. Rather than is actually kind of special because it's very distinct grammatically. You can have a noun, verb, adjective, or even adverb after rather than. It's about replacement. So, it's about preference. Here's an example. He would like to run rather than walk. Notice, rather than is followed by a base verb. Or, he enjoys running rather than walking. Well, as you can see, walking is the same structure as running. That's fine. He enjoys running quickly rather than slowly. Correct. So many of the employees wanted to go to a local restaurant rather than come to the office. You can also start the sentence with rather than and say, rather than come to the office, many of the employees wanted to go to a local restaurant. So the answer is rather than. It's a phrase that seems to break many grammatical rules. So this lesson was quite quick. We learned something about rather than, that you have a lot of freedom with this word. It can be followed by a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb. All right, everyone, have a great day. Please share, like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.